Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
back. This is your boy LG.
It's your boy Nate the Great, man. You know how we rock it.
And we got our co-host over there tonight. Stacey, how you doing today?
I'm doing
Stacey.
wonderful. Thank you. It's great to have everyone back for another episode of Waves of Wisdom. Today's theme is the pressure on men getting married.
Come on, bro.
We're about to get real.
All right, the Wave of Wisdom is a bit long this time, but I had to kind of encompass it all. So it's marriage should come from clarity and love, not pressure, while simultaneously honoring the time of those who wait. Don't let readiness become avoidance.
Okay.
So it's kind of respecting both parties,
Right.
Point of view.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you was gonna hit me with something biblical. I was waiting on one of them for the wave of wisdom.
No, I just wanted to kind of respect both, because both people might have legitimate reasons why, whether they're trying to rush it or whether they're trying to wait.
Yeah.
But at the end, you just gotta be respectful
Right.
of both parties, right?
Yeah.
So my first question is, what message did you guys grow up with about when a man should be ready to marry, or when they should? Is there like an age or like a maturity level, or maybe a situation? Sometimes people get married for situations.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah. I'll kick it off. I mean,
be a business situation. This works best financially.
Yeah, I think growing up, men and women think different of marriage. Growing up, I think women always, I'm not going to say always, but, when they grow up, there's all these Disney movies of princesses and things like that. So when they think of marriage, they kind of have already kind of like how they want their marriage to go. I feel like us men, we don't truly think about marriage until we are adult age, not,
Right.
and ready to settle down. So I think we think of it later in life compared to women. But growing up, I grew up with, 2-parent household. But pops ain't, we ain't never really talk about marriage. I seen what I seen, with relatives and friends of the family. But from a guy's standpoint, we don't talk about marriage unless we dating somebody for a couple of years, right? That's probably when I start having the marriage conversations. So
it's not really like on y'all radar at all.
Yeah,
because
as a
seems
guy,
like until y'all is old,
or that, or it's like when, like, say, like you dating for a while and it's be like, okay, you sharing a life with this woman, so you ready to take her from her family, you know what I'm saying? But like once you start dating and stuff, it's like, y'all just, marriage ain't, because, we view marriage different. So.
Right. And I do understand what you were saying about the whole, like, Disney princess, because, like, some girls, that's the whole day that they've been waiting for their whole life. Yeah. They got it all planned out,
right.
They got the dress. They want a certain proposal. They really got it all planned out for the guy. Yeah. You just got to do whatever it is that
oh Lord,
they're expecting, right?
They kind of know what ring they got idea of. As a man, I ain't even look at rings until after we got engaged. So,
but, what do you mean after you got engaged? So what do you engage with?
For a man, I'm saying man rings.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like I was like I was almost about to get a wedding band like this, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like,
Go ahead. What's your opinion then, Nate?
Go ahead,
because y'all just bothered me. But I ain't grew up in a my grandma and my grandfather, they was married. That's the only thing, but I don't really see no like stable marriage, in my family, really. Like you have to grow up and get married and so forth. I wasn't taught that. But I feel like the marriage thing now, I feel like people can't just force somebody into marriage. Like both parties have to agree, have to want it, because if that occur, the marriage is not gonna last. And I feel like a lot of people go in marriage and the other partner ain't ready, or you know what I'm saying? It's just that's not the person you
like
want to
somebody is just kind of going along with the flow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And the other person like really wants it.
Yeah, the other person want it more than
So I got a question. I got a question for both of y'all, because I want a female perspective and get your perspective, Nate. Because I know for men, like, we have this idea, like, when we're ready to get married. Like, for you and Nate, how did you know, like, okay, I'm ready to get married? Like, was it a certain age, or was it a certain thing? And I'll tell you for
me, I really wasn't interested in any other person.
Right.
So that was kind of my like cue, like, you know, yeah, I don't mind spending my whole life with you, because like the slim pickings out there.
Right.
And if you have something good, worthwhile, you better, you know, harbor down, because then you're gonna lose it. And then here comes the regret. If you see somebody else with what you were supposed to have because you didn't step up.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my, you know, I think I'm done being, you know, to be honest, Nate and I were very young.
Yeah.
So we were high school sweethearts. So for me, it was pretty simple.
Okay.
I mean, for a lot of other people, it's not that simple.
Right.
Because you know, for us, we've known each other since we were kids. Other people, you digging around trying to figure that person out.
Yeah.
You know, so and there's a lot of people come with a lot of baggage, so there's a lot of stuff to unpack with that. So for us, because of the way that it happened, I think it was relatively simple.
Okay.
Probably for you too, because I mean, you guys have been together since high school as well.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like we got married later on, and Nate, I'm gonna let you. Nate, before I talk, what was like, how did you know, like, okay, like, I'm ready to make Stacy my wife? Like what was your thought process going into
my thought process as like when I was like little, you know, I always think about like the character of a person who's gonna raise my child, because bro, out here I seen it from like firsthand. The responsibility you have to have, you know, and some people don't have it at all. And I didn't want this for myself and my family, because when I have a family, when I was young thinking, you know, I wanted to be, I want a father and a mother, you know, like being
right. You want to be solid.
Yeah. So I don't want to be just, you know, have a kid and then you know, me and the mom is not together and so forth. So I was looking for like a strong person that, you know, could hold her own, you know, responsible for things that I don't have to, you know, go over her head and be like, bro, you know, constantly. So I feel like they have to be a responsible person. So I was searching for that person, and I feel like high school was the perfect way to no, I'm just saying, because it's like, bro, you will know the person from like
the ground up,
like
who they,
you know,
actually,
like, you
I
know,
feel like a lot of people pretend, and I mean, the length of time that people can pretend is ridiculous. You could be with somebody for years and then come to find out you don't even know that person.
Because look,
so when you're a kid and you're growing up and you kind of see how that person, there's no pretending, because there's no need to pretend. Y'all are just all kids and growing up together, and you learning the person for who they truly are. Right.
But one thing I was like really like a little bit timid of, it's like I could move to any state, bro, and be a new person. Like, they don't know me. So
yeah, that's scary.
So you could take your baggage to anywhere, like, bro. Like, if she was a dot, you know what I'm saying? She got a whole bunch of HIVs and all disease, bro. You go into a different state, nobody know.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that I was like a little timid
about.
You
scared of the unknown.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, because people be lying, bro.
Yeah. The reason I ask, because I feel like myself and other men, I got friends that aren't married yet, but thinking about it. But I fell in the trap of I wanted to be financially stable before I proposed to her. And by me thinking like that, like I had a certain number in mind for career wise, how I wanted to make salary wise, and that kind of prolonged it for me proposing to her earlier. And I said, because I think a lot of men kind of fall in that trap of why they push marriage.
I see that.
Proposing to is like, man, I don't make enough. I gotta be able to take care of her. Or, man, I don't look like this. I gotta get my weight down so she can, what I'm saying? So she
kind of almost like how people.
Like
I can't do this before I go to God. I gotta get my life right
like
before
that.
I go to God.
So
True.
Now I'm on this side. I'm like, man, that's just another excuse. You know what I'm saying? But before that, I was like, that was legit. Like it was weighing on me heavy because I know I'm taking her from her family.
Right.
And then, I gotta be able to provide. And I'm like, I can't do that. So, what I'm saying? So I think that kind of deter a lot of men, finances, and then having certain assets and physical capabilities.
Right.
From why they get married later on. So I think just for one thing, as far as marriage is just, I think women are more mature and ready before men are because
they're ready.
We think about it later in life, and I feel like we
women just also mature quicker than men.
True. But
statistically,
just from the marriage standpoint, I think we feel like we have to. I feel like we hold more weight, and we feel like we have to hold more weight when it comes to marriage.
Right.
So.
Not to stop talking about this, but I forgot to ask you at the beginning of the podcast. You were supposed to go home. You was going to ask Monica from last week from the podcast if she had a work husband.
Yeah.
Did you even ask her?
I ain't ask her that.
We gotta come. There was something else. I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember?
No, bro.
Of course you don't remember.
We're gonna flip the tape back. We're gonna roll it back, and then I make sure I ask her for the next episode.
Okay, there was something else. I forgot what it was.
We're gonna clip it.
Okay, so back to this.
Ben, I had no work husband.
I don't know. Do you think she would tell you if she did? She's like, nah, babe. Of course not.
It's really sticky.
I'm gonna read body language. I already know she can be like, what?
Yeah.
That means she lying.
That means she thinking about it. She thinking about it.
She thinking about what? Thinking about telling you, or thinking about having?
She's just thinking, and then I'm gonna look at the body language and see, what I'm saying, how it's gonna come out.
But you better hope she don't see this podcast before you ask her. She gonna come prepared.
Body language gonna tell me everything.
All right, back to this week's topic. What's your take on not being ready and avoidance? Do you think there's a telltale sign of somebody's just simply just not ready, and somebody's actually strategically trying to avoid the situation?
I do, because in today's society, all we hear is like, what's the benefit of having a wife, right? We hear that a lot. How does a wife benefit? And they always shoot the negatives of, if you get divorced, they take half. If you have children, they usually take the children. You just kind of, from a financial standpoint, like, you just hear on the whole negative side, right? But it's a lot of positive, as far as it doesn't have to be what they bring. It's more so, how are they being a helpmate? You know what I'm saying? They don't have to bring anything to the table. They just
can't be a bad guy for a second, bro.
For sure.
Because y'all just too goody right now.
Go ahead, be the bad guy.
And it's like,
you good at that.
A lot of women married for money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 95%
financially stable.
95% of women.
Nate, you can't just blow out a
I'm
statistic.
blowing it out. Yes,
no,
95.
You have not done the research.
So I did the research. That's why it's a new law.
Go online.
A new law coming up.
No. I looked that up. It's not true.
It's true.
Where it's going to be, they said that it's going to be, it's like a criminal offense, and like you could sue the other person. It's not true. It's something it's something that's out there, but it's rumors. It's not a legitimate. I looked it up.
But facts, though. Back to facts. Facts. 95% of a woman married for money.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it right now.
I would agree that they marry a man to be more financially secure.
Yeah, for my no, like look,
like if they make more than a man, it's less likely that they will marry.
I understand though, but a lot of women don't want to work. They want the man to give them everything. They never want to work. They get married and they just want to be a housewife.
But do you blame them? Because back in the day, it was.
I was gonna say. Actually,
we ain't talking about back in the day, bro. We're talking about today,
right? 2025. It's how they were, what they seen. And
yes,
how they were taught.
But they don't live back in the day. They live in 2005. As
I looked it up, and it actually said there isn't a definitive percentage. So I'd like you to tell me where you got that percentage from, because I'm looking at it right now.
By
the census. You got it from the census.
No, none of that. By the time we're living in right now, and I feel like
it also says anecdotal or stereotype based estimates about 50%, but that's not backed by solid data. But
look,
that's significantly less.
But I'm saying though, look,
than what you're stating.
The time we're living in right now.
Yeah.
Like, look, bro, I'm giving you facts right now. Like,
facts,
look,
Nate? Be careful how you say.
I'm giving you facts. If they want to...
Men facts.
Like, if they want to challenge me, they could challenge me in the comments. But I'm saying, though, now, like, if you have a status, bro, she going all day. It doesn't matter. So what is that? That's for money.
But yes, I'm not.
And it's for all of them.
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that many women marry for money, but I'm just disagreeing with the percentage.
It's 95% of them. You know what I'm saying? Them 5% is just, man, I don't know, man, they just, you have to jump to, what do you call it? Hulu?
I don't think, Monica didn't marry LaRon for money. I didn't marry you for money.
So I said 5%. So you probably know.
I mean 5%.
Yeah, the 5 percentile, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I could go on to name a few more of my friends.
No, I see
that did not marry for money.
So
you can't.
That means you talk for people, so you can't do that.
No, but what I'm saying is they got married, and the significant other is not. They don't have a whole bunch of money, so they thought
at first though. They probably thought. I don't
want to put nobody on blast.
Whoopsie! They probably thought and be like, whoopsie.
Some guys be dressing clean and nice, smelling good, and they be tricking some women. So
I'm wrong.
You never know. But back to the question. With that being said, Nate, so do you think what you said? A lot of men do run from marriage.
Yes, a lot of men run from marriage. You know why? Because it's both sides, bro. A lot of guys run from marriage because it's a
choose your words wisely.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Choose them words wisely.
Okay. It's a big responsibility, right? Mm-hmm. It is, because like you married, it's like your life changed, bro.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It really does. You ain't no freelancer no more. You know what I'm saying? And then two, guys think about if we not together anymore.
Yeah.
What the repercussion is.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, because some women so spiteful, bro. Man,
I would agree.
I'm talking about do some things like for you with your kids, and how you a good dad and you a good person, and I feel like, and they want to.
I feel like when marriages break up, sometimes the guys do get the shorter end of the stick.
Always,
yeah.
And then
that would make more sense for you guys to think about that. That would be a thought on your plate, because for us we'd be like, well, we're gonna come out on top anyways.
Right.
So it's not even really a thought for us.
Right. Not for that. The system is made for y'all.
Right.
And that's I don't know why.
I agree. I mean.
I don't know why.
I mean, I probably get a lot of backlash for it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I have a son.
It's facts, bro.
I mean, I see it from both perspectives.
Right.
So
it's facts, bro.
I'm gonna call a spade, because I don't want anybody doing that to my son.
How do we change that narrative? One, and two, do we, in the black community, do we think any other community thinks the way we think?
I think the whole thing about marriage is kind of like cross-cultural.
Yes,
You think it's cross-cultural?
Yeah,
Yes,
because
bro.
I mean, the women's majority, you know, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or
it's the same
Hispanic,
thing,
or
bro.
the law is the law. It
Right.
doesn't, you know, differentiate, you know, between if you're black, then the men don't get nothing, or if you're Hispanic, the men, you know, get more. No,
But
it's-
being pressured to get married. Do we think not? You know, and this is just us just talking. But do you think other cultures? Do you think other men in other cultures get the same pressure?
I don't know, because I don't know too much about other cultures and
Yeah,
their,
I can't say.
you know. What about you? What do you think? I don't know too much about, you know, marriage and Asian culture, or marriage and
Right.
And I feel like if you like, okay, this is my take. So if you grow up in a household with your father and mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're married, right? And I feel like, and then you have a son or a daughter, the parents going to encourage their child to get married. So I feel like it will be.
And parents always want grandchildren. So when their kids are getting bigger, they're like, you know, bro.
Never
Oh yeah.
I feel like,
honey,
in a stable home, it's more like reasonable,
more talked about,
in a stable home than a broken home. Broken home, bro, I don't care. We
do what you do.
You know, we gonna go to the club. What's up?
Yeah.
Where's she at?
Right.
So how long do you think is too long to keep somebody waiting?
Well, okay. When you're engaged or without engaged, what you have to pick one.
I mean, either, because some people will use the engagement as a stalling process.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like, it really doesn't matter at what point in time you're waiting. It's just
but one is like more up from another one. Because if you engage, it mean like, okay, you closer.
But
not talking about engaged. If they're not engaged, how long you think?
Oh, bam, bro. It's like, man.
I think this is gonna be subjective because.
Man, I feel like 3 years, bro. 3 years, really know that person. Like, okay, you go together in 3 years tops, bro. You can't go no longer. 3 years tops.
I think it depends on the age, right? Because if you dating at 22 and you get, you know, y'all get married 6 years, is that too long? At 28, no. I don't think so. But
what you mean? Wait.
So you're kind of putting a time stamp on the age thing.
Yeah, I think bro, we ain't doing the age, bro. I think
it's age because it's different maturities and it's different. Like, you don't really know what you really want. You know what I'm saying? You have an idea, but you don't know what you really want. Like,
so why you have together then?
Because I'm saying, if you dating at 30, if you dating at, you know, 32, 33, you direct. You know what you want. 2 weeks, a month. Hey, you ain't giving this to me. I'm moving around.
And
you know
sometimes when you're younger, you kind of can grow apart from people.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more leniency because you're doing more things. Marriage isn't a focus.
Right.
When you're older, marriage is more of a focus. So, to answer your question, is there a number? I mean, I think it is, depending on how old you are.
Okay, let's say we're all at a mature age. We're all like, you know, let's just say 29, 30.
Yeah.
And
that's old.
Yeah. Okay. And because I mean, in your 20s, most people aren't really thinking about marriage in this days and age because they're young. They want to party. They want to have fun. They're not.
Hold on, though.
27 is the average age in America that people
Okay, so let's say 27 then.
Hold on, though.
So 27, Nate.
Factor in kids, bro. Y'all not factoring the kids because y'all going y'all had kids before or y'all want to have kids after?
No, it doesn't really matter.
It do matter.
So you're 27 and you've been dating this person. How long is too long for that person to wait? Are you sticking with your 3 years?
Yeah, I'm sticking with 3 years, but he came with the other scenario. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like,
no, I'm
dating. If me and you dating, bro, like, okay, me and you dating. 3 years is tops, and then we could talk about that. Talk about getting married.
I think men don't really have a number. It's more so women.
Probably, yeah.
I think men, like, if I'm dating, like, and everything good, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool until you say,
true.
I want to have kids, I don't want to get married. Then that conversation starts. But as a man, it's like, if everything copacetic, we dating and we kicking and we having fun, it's like we don't really
Some men though, bro.
Yeah.
So you can't say every man. Man, you said the whole like.
I said men, right?
Yeah, man. That's a whole.
Because that's what we talk about, man.
Yeah, but
I didn't say every man. I said men.
Yeah, but if you say man, it's still like every man. Just say some man, because all men don't think like that.
Yeah, I think some men kind of want to tie the knot to solidify some things. Some people, every person is different,
and some men don't want to do none of that.
I think it kind of depends on the relationship and the people and the age and all that factors in. But after like. I would say like 3-4 years. Like, what are you? What more is it that you need to find out about this person?
Yeah, for sure.
Because by that time you're holding things up. If somebody has if they don't want to have kids before marriage, or if like there's certain life events that some people are going to put off until they can solidify a foundation. And so at that time. Now you have to be respectful of that other person's time because they, especially for women, I think the biggest thing is the kids because we have a biological clock, right? That is ticking.
Right.
And regardless of whether the men are ready or not, that clock is going to expire.
Yeah.
And so they want to be able to have kids and have a family and all of that at a young age, or not even, at a decent age.
Just do it out of wedlock, then.
But that might not be out. That might be out of some people's religion or values or morals.
I understand, but if you're in the situation and you need to go there, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's life or death when you up in the age.
Some people would just rather not. They would just rather go their whole life. They don't have kids.
Or don't have a kid.
Because they, I didn't have that person. Some people feel like I'm not going to bring a life into a broken situation.
I understand. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Do we think social media adds more pressure or less takes away
a lot of pressure. What are you talking about?
It depends. I think it depends on your scope, on your circle.
No,
because your social media is your circle, right? Or what you follow, or who you. So that all depends. If you are somebody that wants a family and marriage and everything, and everybody on your social media feed is getting married and having kids, and that might put some pressure.
Yes,
but if you are, say you're still in that situation, you want to have kids, you want to have family, but everybody on your social media feed is still single and having fun. That doesn't put any pressure on you.
But
so it does. You gave me the politician answer. It does. Is it? You say social media does add pressure?
It does. You know why?
Go ahead. Why?
Because everybody just social media. Put the pressure of.
If there's a yes or no answer, I would say yes.
Hold on.
I'm saying no, but I'm saying no. But
so you're saying social media put the pressure on you to get married, or not?
I'm asking you, does social media adds pressure for people to get married, or is it less pressure?
No, it's it actually it demotes I'm getting married.
Yeah, on social media, in reality today, everything is to destroy family. So
it does. It doesn't raise. It doesn't raise no.
They don't want the men in the house. They don't want you to have a family. They don't want.
Social media is just turn up, bro. Like me and you
traveling, having fun.
The club. We're gonna look some girls, and then we're gonna smash. We're gonna do it all over again.
Right.
And then also, back to what we were talking about earlier, you was talking about, Nate, women looking for guys with money. Technically, if you have one sole provider financially and one person staying home, that's the ideal situation. You don't want anybody else to raise your kids. You want one of the parents to raise a kid.
It's just
you don't want to have to depend on anybody else for any financial funds.
But hold on.
When one, think about our situation, Nate. Do you not find it more beneficial for one of us to always be home and one person? So that whole breaking the family down, that was all targeted. That was planned. Because when you destroy the family, you're destroying really the everything.
The foundation.
Yeah, the foundation. If that one parent is not home,
Right.
then that child is going outside or school or wherever to look for whatever they should be finding at home.
Right.
So I wouldn't really knock so much women for wanting to be that stay-at-home mom, because I feel like it's innately needed. It's needed. Now their motives behind it are not always aligned with that, because staying at home and not pulling your weight and not doing your bargain, not taking care of the kids, you just want to stay home and be lazy and just get fed and get funded for your nails and your hair and all of that, then that's not okay. But I think that
but hold on,
go ahead.
I'm gonna be the bad person again.
Why you gotta be the bad person?
Some women want I'm because I'm saying these truth. You know what I'm saying? People gonna look at me like, why are you saying? But some women want to be a stay-at-home mom, but they don't have the ability even to be a stay-at-home mom. Can't cook, can't clean. Why you want to be a stay-at-home, bro?
But that goes back to what I was saying. It's your motive behind it.
Understand?
Your motive has to be.
But that's what they want. They want a rich man, and they don't want to bag. They don't know how to do nothing.
Right. They want the guy to pull their end, but then they don't want to pull their end.
Yeah.
They don't have no end. It's no end.
Yeah, you gonna hurt some women's feelings on that one.
But I don't care. They don't have no end, bro. None. All they want to do is just, I want a guy to take care of me. What you have to offer? Nothing. And I see it bro. I see it. They don't have no abilities of nothing, bro. They don't want to do nothing. All they want to do is look in my face, bro. All they want to do. Ooh, okay, let's go.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, both partners, motives have to be clear,
right,
and in line with one another.
Yeah.
Right. So it's back to the wave of wisdom for today, which is marriage should come from clarity and love, not pressure, while simultaneously honoring the time of those who wait. Don't let readiness become avoidance. I feel like we kind of traveled away from the wave of wisdom.
Right.
But it was a good conversation nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think basically we kind of all just agree that both people have to be respectful of each other's time and readiness. Like, if you're not ready, cool, but don't make it, you can't extend that time.
Stalling factor.
To the point where now you're almost at the point of
like
hindering that person's life. Because now if something was to go wrong and y'all,
you're gonna start over again.
Right.
Do they even have time to start over, and build what they want to build with somebody? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the goofy question for today is, if wanting to marry was a pizza topping, what topping would be chosen last and which first?
Oh, that's easy. What topping would choose first? I choose first?
I mean, you or anybody, like what is a pizza topping if wanting to marry? So wanting to marry is the pizza topping.
Oh, wanting to marry.
Which topping would be chosen first? And which last?
Wanting to marry. So
I feel like, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say cheese would be chosen first. Because
no, that's mine, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
You stole mine.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Cheese.
Is that a topping? No, that's on every piece of cheese.
No, cheese is not on every pizza, bro.
Cheese is on
every pizza.
No,
yes,
cheese
but
alone.
It's an option. Yeah. Cheese alone.
Cheese alone.
Right.
It's not a topping.
Right.
But
so you saying what type? Okay.
Well, okay, so it is kind of a topping, because if you have cheese pizza, there's more cheese on it than
the regular.
Like, there's a base layer of cheese on all pizzas, right? But if you choose cheese, there's more cheese on top.
That's the topping, bro.
No, it's not.
It is, because if you
y'all be spending more money on cheese pizza.
No, it's less money, but I'm just saying, like, when you have cheese pizza, they make it cheesy.
I do.
All right, go ahead, cheese.
So you said, if I want to get married, it will be the first?
Like,
yeah.
If wanting to get married was a topping, which topping would be chosen first? If you stick with cheese, that's what you picked. I won't pick yours.
I know that.
Okay, which one would be chosen last?
Sausage.
Sausage?
Yeah.
I feel like sausage is very common. So
Yeah.
so for me,
Sausage because that's pork. I don't eat pork.
okay, for you. So you're talking about perspective for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
you said-
All right.
you said-
So for me,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a whole wide, world perspective. What's common, what's not. For me, I would say like pepperoni or sausage.
Would be
Or
first
since you said
last?
sausage, I would say pepperoni.
Would be first
Pepperoni
or
would be
last?
chosen first,
Okay.
and anchovies would be chosen last.
I was gonna say anchovies too. Yeah, because ain't nobody like no anchovies on their pizza.
No, very rarely.
Um,
So what would be your first? Or what you think?
I would say last year would be anchovies because you always hear, but that's
I always hear like people pick anchovies, but I actually never seen anybody eat
ain't nobody
anchovies.
in our culture eat no anchovies
Yeah.
on their pizza. My point.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Google it.
so first, I'm gonna say if I had to pick a topping, I'm gonna say pineapples
Pineapples?
on my pizza. Yeah, pineapple.
First?
Yeah, first.
Bro,
A lot of people
I
do like
No, I like spinach though. Now, I
You
was
like
going cheese my first, then spinach.
spinach. Yeah. A lot of people. I don't like warm fruit, so like I don't really like baked.
But
You know,
you gotta give
desserts.
it a little sweetness.
Yeah.
It look good. You know, you want your
I could never get down with it. I just don't like
No,
it.
it's good though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That
Yeah.
pineapple, smacking.
yeah. That's
All
how
right.
that's how the men want their woman. Look good, smacking, taste good, all that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. You guys got anything else you want to add?
Nah.
Nah, all I want to add for everybody that's watching this podcast, if you feel like you being pressured to get married, you not. Go ahead and marry that woman.
Yeah, and one more thing too. Like, look,
Don't go broke on the ring though.
look though. Let nobody force you into getting married. Because marriage is a big step. And I know a lot of people don't keep their commitment. Commitment is a life or death situation, as in anything happened to you, you have to still get the job done. I don't care if your foot broke. I don't care if your car not, you find a, bro, you are
You are what? Go ahead. Finish your thought.
nothing, bro. Forget it.
All right.
Just know that it's a big responsibility.
All right, guys. I think that about wraps things up for tonight.
Go and marry
Thanks
that
for
woman.
riding the waves with us today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Before you go, make sure you hit that like, comment, share, or subscribe button. Keep chasing the tides of knowledge and catch y'all on the next wave.
Yes.